All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us here. We've got the mentors from the first EUSP Games, James Love and Matt Brammer and Pranav Sharma. So what we want to do is, I'll start with you, James, quick. James, what do you think about what you've seen so far with what the contestants are doing?
It seems like to me most of them are quite structured about how they're going about things.
As
Seems to be
opposed
a
to the
fair
way
bit.
you guys did it?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Probably more structured than I think I did at first. I had a couple of ideas, then I guess I really just started to thrash out code and see what happened, really.
Yeah, nice, nice. Matt, what are you seeing?
I've been reading the EUSPGames Twitter hashtag all along, not commenting much, but silently reading, and quite impressed with where the solutions and some of the ideas that have been already implemented. I've actually been able to catch a sneak peek of one, so I'm pretty impressed with where it's at already, and very excited to see what happens.
Good. Matt, are you a mentor for one of the specific contestant?
Yes, yes. I hooked up with Paul Tavares, and actually he gave me a demo of where he's at currently. I'm not going to put any pressure on him, but it looks pretty swish.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Pranav, what are you seeing? You doing okay with this?
Yeah, I mean it's like James said, it seems a lot more structured than what we were doing. I'm actually impressed that some of the contestants actually have mock-ups. Um, uh,
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
had to pick a horse in the race, I'm the out-of-the-box guy. So I'm siding with Wendy on this one, but let's see how the other contestants come through.
Okay,
Yeah, I think for a hack, like a 7-day hack, using Balsamic is awesome. If she can provide that as well as the solution, I think that's incredible.
you
Yep.
guys are talking about Wendy now. Let's go ahead and get right to it then. If you'll look and see what Wendy has written here. You see she designed it with Balsamic, then she used a little paint.net, and now she's got Mark Anderson's SP services. Any comments on that?
I was actually just using Balsamic 90 seconds ago. I'm a diehard Balsamic guy. I'm a diehard out-of-the-box guy. I'm really excited to see what comes out of her solution.
James, you're a hardcore dev. What do you think?
I think it's interesting going straight for the UI approach. I mean, that's the approach I took for my solution as I started with how's the thing going to look. And I get the feeling Wendy's gone on the same route. So she's deciding what's it going to look like, what kind of technologies am I going to use, and taking sort of that approach to it, from the UI first and then going underneath afterwards. I think that's where she's going with it, and I think that might turn out quite well for her.
Nice, nice. Let's quickly go down to Stefan in the second one.
Uh,
Anybody have something to say on that one?
well, I was going to comment about Wendy.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, she's taken an approach that I took. I was doing mainly front-end work, and from what I've been reading about her, she's more in line with Sharp and writing code in Visual Studio. And that's one thing I did do during my hack is kind of steer off into a realm that I wasn't really astute in. Like I use SP services for a lot of Gits and updates, and seems like she hasn't. And so that might be something that hinders her on the within her programming.
Interesting, interesting. Let's go to the next one. I see Stefan here he said the hardest part he thought was going to be the aggregation of the RSS feeds. Well, what do you think about his approach and what he's doing?
So, aggregation services exist out there, and I'm interested to see what he comes up with on his own. He must have a great idea to abandon one of the existing services, but I've seen some of Stefan's work before, and he does good work. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with.
Great. James, Matt, anything on that one?
I'll let you go,
Yeah.
James.
Sorry.
Go ahead, James.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Stefan's he's taking an approach where he's thinking about the architecture underneath from the go. This could be quite interesting. You could come up with some really feature-rich solution here, but I'd just have to read over his notes again. But I don't think he mentioned much about the UI at this stage. So I'm expecting something feature-rich, but it might not look quite as pretty as the others. I don't know, we might have to see what happens there.
And
Yeah.
I think James is spot on there. I think Stefan's going to probably do some sort of storing of items based on what he can do with the RSS feeds, and produce something that SharePoint does awesome out of the box. You know, try to use some of the features that way. That's what I'm thinking he's going to do. I have no clue, but I think it's interesting that he didn't use something that was already existing. So we'll see how much of time that takes for him to build.
Great. Let's scroll down and see what Paul's got going. Okay. Some of you guys already know Paul, right?
I talk with him occasionally on just online. I really actually have never talked to him directly until last night. I talked to him via Skype, so I know of his work, and it's pretty impressive, some of the code he puts out. And from what I've seen, I really like where he's going with his solution.
Great. James, Pranav?
So I'm actually impressed that he claims that he's probably 90% there. That gives him a lot of time to polish the edges and to really work out the kinks. So this could be, in theory, one of the well-polished products we see out of this. So it should be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. When Paul's thinking about his solution, he's broke it down. He says he's broke it down to clear areas it's going to focus on. And yeah, if he says 90% done, I mean, I'll admit I had a similar thought on the Sunday of the challenge that we were on. I thought 90% there on Sunday, yeah, I'll just spend the rest of it fixing bugs, making it look good. It turned out a fair bit different as the week went on. So it'll be interesting if he still thinks that it's 90% done come the end of the challenge.
Now, I've seen his solution. I wouldn't call it 90%, but I do think what he has already is going to fare well in the competition. I haven't seen anybody else's, but I really like what he's got, especially for, he's doing it all front end. That's where I kind of lay out all my code out on the line too. So really excited to see his final solution.
Also,
Nice.
he's the first person to mention the word customer in his. He's thinking about the customer. It's a key thing here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mark, how much are you paying these guys?
It's interesting, right? We had a lot of people on the back channel ping me to say, hey, I want in, but we have to close it down after a certain amount. I think the idea, though, is can we use the technology that we're being paid to do as consultants every day and actually have fun with it? And I think that's what this whole thing is about. So,
Yeah.
what about Sebastian's? Matt, we'll go with you first. Have you looked over Sebastian's thing, what he's doing?
So yeah, he's building. Actually, I'm reading it right now. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Pranav or James, have you looked over that?
Yeah, so, it seems like he's looking to make the interface snazzy, which is what I think James won on last time. I think it's a good idea to focus on. I'd be interested to see, he claims a magical interface. I want to see where the magic is going to be. And I'm also interested to see what exactly he's using Mind Manager for. But, it seems in theory like a really polished UI that we're going to see out of this.
I think I agree with you. The word magic is very strong, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So when I hear magic, I think of some sort of one-page app that has a lot of Ajax to it, and it all intertwines and actually works.
Kind of like yours, James?
Well,
it almost, sorry.
it almost got there. I mean, I admit mine had a lot of big ideas that didn't come to fruition. I think it showed well. It would have showed better if I could have told Bill Sismer that what he was saying actually did work. So I think he's probably going to use location.hash a lot and update the address bar, hopefully, and in that way, your app can be, I don't know, favorited, and I don't know. We'll see. If he has a magic update DOM, I think it looks like he's going to have a real fresh UI. So hopefully it comes. He has enough time to do it.
Nice. James, what do you think of this as a developer, what you're seeing here?
Um, I'm liking the fact you're using CKS Dev, so he's going to have some of his job made easier in Visual Studio, shall we say. Going back to the magical interface kind of thing, I'm expecting a lot of really smooth, really flashy stuff going on in the UI. But what I'm actually really interested in is not only what he's going to come out with, but what his original intention was. Because he's got a lot of strong words here and he's got a lot of good tools in use. I want to know, at the end of the day, what was he able to achieve and what did he plan to achieve in the first place?
Nice. Nice thought.
So I got a question. Do you guys think the tool set might hinder his time frame as well as Wendy's of using Mind Manager and Balsamic and, you know what I mean?
Well, Mind
As far-
Manager and Balsamic are two different animals now. A Mind Manager is a thought process. I use that every day. Balsamic is really a wireframe, so I'm not really comparing those two.
Well, I mean, just as far as how much time's invested in each.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I wouldn't argue that it would take more time. I would argue that quite the contrary, that it would help him lay his thoughts out in a more concise and concrete manner that would let him get going, and not theoretically have him switch tracks in the middle of it. So I think it would help rather than hinder.
All right.
That's the thing about it. If you invested time in the beginning, does that mean that you might not need to backtrack or change your mind or re-architect the entire thing halfway down if you plan it properly? And it's the purpose of all these tools to plan properly in such a short space of time.
Nice. Final one here is Deval. I'm looking over this. He spent the weekend drinking, thinking about this thing.
Sounds strangely familiar. Exactly what I did for the first weekend. I was in D.C. I had tickets to a concert, and my weekend was pretty much booked. I do like the fact that he's using Google Read, like he's using, I believe he said he's using Google to
Google
aggregate.
OPML, yeah.
Yeah, which Paul is actually using. So I've seen what it can do. It's fast. It aggregates well. I've seen the data that comes back. I'd be pretty. I'd like to see where he takes it compared to where Paul's at. But I like the fact that he's using something out of the box. It'll save him some, or something that's already built. So it'll save him some time.
Great.
Yep. So, I'm having a hard time getting a sense for where he's at in his process or what he's really hoping to accomplish. But that being said, maybe he's just playing it off as being the underdog here, and he could really surprise us all with a cool solution. I'd like to see more here.
You're playing the Paula Abdul role here.
I thought I was. I was the one who liked it.
James, you got anything on this one?
I agree with Pranav here. It's very light on where he's at with the status of it, but he's sounding confident. Sounds like he says he's caught up for over the weekend. The time he's missed. Hopefully he's got over his hangover by now. So yeah, let's see what he comes out with.
Great.
I feel his pain.
We've got about 1 minute left here. I guess the last thing we say is anything about Bill, his little comment as a judge. You can see he's taking this seriously.
Let's just say I'm jealous.
I wish I read more about unicorns and bacon.
Zombie unicorns.
Zombie unicorns that eat bacon brains.
I'm disappointed he's not mentioned bacon once in that thing, if I'm reading it correctly.
Well, you haven't seen my new screen. You haven't seen my new profile shot, have you?
I have, yeah. Your beard's getting big, Mark.
Yeah, it is. It is. We'll see everybody at SP TechCon in Boston to see how big it is. Anyway, thank you guys so much. This is going to be very helpful.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
All
you,
right.
Mark. Putting it together. I appreciate it.
Matt has got somebody he's mentoring. James, Pranav, if you see somebody that you think that you could help, reach out a little bit. See if there's anything they need help with.
Sure.
Definitely. Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you.
See you,
Thank
Mark.
you.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.